All right, 138 MMA is back, and I'm going to do a special breakdown of the first fight on the card for Dana White's Contender Series, Week 7 of 2022. So we have Nayara Maia, I believe is how you say that, and Tereza Bleda. So these two girls coming in, both of them undefeated. There is one draw on the record for Maia. She is 7-0-1 overall, but 4-0-1 in her last 5. Tereza Bleda is actually 5-0, so her last 5 are all of her fights. So a couple of things. We're going to start with Maia here. So Maia's jiu-jitsu off her back, I believe she is a brown belt, if I'm not mistaken. Her jiu-jitsu off her back is great. She's really good at fishing for arm bars and triangles. And that's pretty much it. She'll go for arm bars and triangles, oh plenty. The problem is she's willing to give up top position to do so. She can have mount, and then she'll put you in a mounted triangle and roll to her back. And if you can get out of the triangle, well, you've got top position. And she's done this in multiple fights. So leading into this one here, it's can she finish that armbar or triangle if she gets to this position anyway? Or will she just give up position to Tereza Bleda, who is savage with her ground and pound? And we'll get into that in a moment. But so one more thing that I wanted to mention about Maia before I go over to Bleda. Maia's got good forward pressure and so striking. So when she comes forward, she does like to throw some volume until she can get you up against the cage, where she proceeds to try to get you down and by any means necessary. And like I said, sometimes she'll give up top position to fish for submissions off her back. So the submission game for Maia is there, but problem for her, or maybe a positive for her, because she does like to fish for submissions off her back, Tereza Bleda is relentless with her takedowns. It is one takedown after another in all of her fights. 100% of the time she's shooting for takedowns. If she's striking, it's because she needs to catch her breath because she's just shot 6 takedowns. So constant. The problem is, and I've seen this in almost all of her fights, she leaves her neck wide open for the guillotine. So she hasn't been caught yet. Obviously, she's 5-0. She hasn't been caught yet. But she leaves it there, and she'll get caught in multiple guillotines, and she's been able to get out thus far. Maia's got some pretty good submissions. So although I didn't see any guillotines watching any fights from Maia, the guillotine's there. With that said, she's gotten out of all of them thus far, including her amateur fights. So obviously she knows what she's doing. Guillotines typically, I don't remember the exact number on the stat, but they are the least successful submission attempted in the UFC. They have the highest percentage rate of failing, if that clears that up at all. I think it's over 70% of the time they fail. So that's good news for her, but she does leave that neck wide open. So for Bleda, I would like to see her try to work on that in the future. For this fight, she might be all right. She has some savage ground and pound, as I mentioned. So when she gets you on the ground, she's relentless with elbows. She's just a violent fighter, which is good for her, for that style. However, that striking at range, if she does end up having to do that at any point in this fight, hopefully, and for her, and thankfully for her, Maia wants to fight on the ground as well, so she probably shouldn't have to strike. So I don't know. It could be good, could be bad, could be just not even something we have to worry about for Bleda in this fight. But with that said, I believe that the takedowns and relentless, savage ground and pound and top pressure is going to get the fight into the control of Bleda. I think she might even be able to get a finish, as she has finished a lot of fights with that ground and pound. Elbows just coming down like it's a thunderstorm out there, just raining elbows. Maia, on the other hand, loves arm bars. She could snatch up an arm when those elbows are coming down. I wouldn't be surprised. When I first watched the tape for these two, and I was breaking down the fights, I thought it was going to be a landslide for Bleda. After watching some more, although Maia has edged out a lot of decisions, gotten a few submissions, but edged out a lot of decisions, a lot closer in the fights, the way she's doing that, stylistically, makes me nervous for someone who, A, leaves her neck out when she shoots for takedowns, and B, throws heavy volume from the top, which could lead to an armbar or a triangle, which Maia loves. So my official pick is going to be Bleda. However, I'm not as confident as I was before taking the time to watch all those fights. Another interesting thing to note, if you remember Lucy Pudilova in our last pay-per-view, UFC 278, she fought Wu Yanan on the main card of that pay-per-view. In an exhibition bout had some strange rules. But Tereza Bleda actually got a win over Lucy Pudilova in a exhibition fight between the two over an octagon. The weird rules though is every time Bleda got the takedown and secured the takedown, the ref would stand them both back up. In that fight, she was in multiple guillotines though, like 6 or more probably, I would say. But she was able to get out of all of them, and if you can get out of them from someone who is getting wins in the UFC, then I mean that's a good sign. But at the same time, it was strange rules, and since it wasn't in English, the promotion Octagon is not based out of anywhere that speaks English. So I had no idea what the referee was saying or what the commentators were saying. So I'm not quite sure why they did that, but apparently that was something with the exhibition rules. Either way, in a strange rules bout, Tereza Bleda did get a win over Lucy Pudilova, who did just get a win on a UFC pay-per-view. So that's something. But again, like I said, my pick, Tereza Bleda. I wouldn't fault anybody for taking Maia. I have no idea what the odds are. As far as I know, they're not even out yet, as this is only Wednesday, and we just had this week's card, I guess, yesterday. So I could be picking a massive favorite, or I could be picking the underdog. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinion on this. If anybody's actually watched some of the regional fights between these ladies and some of their competition, if anybody's watched that weird exhibition fight and understands why those rules are the way that they were, somebody let me know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.